In today's breaking news, President Donald Trump has unveiled a controversial proposal that could reshape American identity: the potential end of dual citizenship in the United States. This development could affect millions of Americans, forcing them to choose between their American passport and ties to their ancestral homelands. Trump's proposal represents his boldest stance yet on immigration and citizenship, surpassing his previous hardline policies. The former president argues that dual citizenship creates divided loyalties and poses national security risks. Security experts note this could impact numerous Americans, from Canadian-American border communities to Silicon Valley executives with international backgrounds. The proposal requires individuals to pledge sole allegiance to the United States or forfeit American citizenship. This comes amid heightened global tensions, particularly with nations like the former Soviet Republic. Critics argue the proposal could impact international business relations, diplomatic ties, and military alliances. Many American military personnel stationed overseas have children born abroad with dual citizenship who could face challenges under these changes. Trump's stance stems from his concern about national sovereignty and security. During his previous administration, he pushed for stricter immigration controls, arguing existing policies left America vulnerable. The proposal represents a departure from decades of American policy that has accepted dual citizenship as compatible with American values. Legal experts note implementing this policy would require either congressional action or a constitutional amendment, both challenging in today's polarized political climate. The implications of this proposal continue to unfold, affecting American citizens, international relations, and the concept of national identity in our interconnected world. In a significant policy declaration, former President Trump has outlined a controversial stance on dual citizenship that's reverberating through American society. His proposal, anchored in the America First doctrine, argues that individuals with dual citizenship cannot maintain undivided loyalty to the United States while pledging allegiance to another nation. Trump's position focuses on national security, suggesting that dual citizens may have divided loyalties that could compromise America's interests. This aligns with his established political philosophy of strengthening borders and tightening immigration controls. "We need Americans who are 100% committed to our nation," Trump stated, advocating for an overhaul of current citizenship policies. This proposal represents a significant expansion of his nationalist agenda, aiming to redefine American citizenship. The implications are far-reaching. Millions of Americans could face choosing between U.S. citizenship and their ancestral connections. This would particularly affect first-generation Americans, international professionals, and children of immigrants with dual citizenship status. Critics argue that the proposal faces constitutional challenges and could create diplomatic tensions. Constitutional scholars note that the U.S. has historically recognized dual citizenship, and changes would likely face legal opposition. The proposal has ignited debate about American identity and loyalty. Opponents argue that dual citizenship strengthens international relationships and cultural understanding, benefiting America's global influence. They suggest that forcing citizens to choose could cause social division and economic consequences. The United States has traditionally benefited from its diverse population, including those maintaining connections to their countries of origin. This proposal raises crucial questions about American immigration policy and the nation's role in a globalized society. Questions remain about practical implementation and enforcement mechanisms as the political discourse continues to evolve. In a significant development, former President Trump's proposal to eliminate dual citizenship has sparked intense debate across America about national identity and constitutional rights. Legal experts question the feasibility of such a change to citizenship laws. The Constitution protects citizenship rights, making any attempt to revoke dual citizenship status legally challenging. Constitutional scholars emphasize that citizenship cannot be arbitrarily stripped from Americans. Millions of Americans with dual citizenship contribute to our nation's fabric, serving in the military, driving economic growth, and enhancing cultural diversity. The proposal raises questions about America's role in a global community. The legal hurdles are substantial. Current law only permits citizenship revocation in extreme cases, such as naturalization fraud or service in hostile foreign forces. Changing these limitations would require congressional action or a constitutional amendment. Critics argue that forcing Americans to choose a single nationality could deter international talent, complicate diplomatic relations, and harm American competitiveness. Many allies, including Canada and the UK, embrace dual citizenship as a modern reality. The proposal raises practical enforcement questions about identifying and processing millions of dual citizens, appeals processes, and potential exceptions. The impact on international families could be severe, particularly affecting American citizens married to foreign nationals and children born to American parents abroad. The debate continues with experts, politicians, and citizens weighing in. The central question remains: can America maintain global leadership while potentially alienating citizens with international connections? This initiative represents a major shift in American immigration policy, affecting relationships with allies and trading partners. The proposal faces ongoing scrutiny from courts, Congress, and public opinion. In a significant development raising constitutional questions, former President Trump's proposed citizenship reform has sparked intense legal debate. Legal experts highlight unprecedented challenges in this attempt to reshape American citizenship laws. The proposal, targeting dual citizenship holders, faces constitutional hurdles. U.S. law currently permits citizenship revocation only in cases of naturalization fraud or voluntary renunciation. Trump's plan would expand these conditions, marking a shift in immigration policy. Constitutional scholars note such changes would require more than executive action, either through congressional legislation or a constitutional amendment. An amendment would need two-thirds approval in Congress and ratification from 38 states, a rarely achieved threshold. The legal community expects significant pushback if the proposal advances. Civil rights organizations and affected parties would likely challenge it in courts, potentially leading to years of litigation. Historical precedent favors protecting citizens' rights. Millions of Americans with dual citizenship would face difficult choices, particularly children of immigrants who automatically receive dual citizenship at birth. These Americans would need to choose between their U.S. citizenship and ancestral heritage. The proposal affects international business relations and diplomatic ties. Americans working abroad, including executives and diplomats, often maintain dual citizenship for practical purposes. Their forced choice could impact U.S. global interests. The plan questions America's role as a nation of immigrants. Critics argue it contradicts American values and could damage the country's democratic leadership position. Constitutional experts emphasize implementation would require navigating complex legal frameworks while respecting international agreements. The proposal's fate may depend on judicial interpretation of citizenship rights under the 14th Amendment. These developments occur amid broader discussions about immigration, national identity, and constitutional rights, potentially reshaping American citizenship definition for generations. In a significant development, former President Trump's proposal to abolish dual citizenship is sending shockwaves through American communities worldwide. This policy shift could dramatically affect millions of U.S. citizens, creating unprecedented challenges for American society. The implications are far-reaching, particularly for Americans living abroad. Professionals, entrepreneurs, and military families who've built lives overseas and hold second passports for practical reasons would face a choice between their American identity and their adopted home. Military personnel and diplomatic staff are in an especially difficult position. Many service members born to American parents overseas automatically receive dual citizenship, a status now potentially threatened. This raises questions about impacts on military readiness and diplomatic capabilities. The business community warns of economic consequences. Foreign-born entrepreneurs and investors might reconsider their commitments, potentially triggering an exodus of talent and capital, weakening America's position as a global innovation leader. Legal experts and civil rights groups oppose the proposal, arguing it could violate constitutional rights and international law. The issue has created a clear divide, energizing Trump's base while sparking resistance from moderate Republicans and Democrats. Implementation poses significant challenges. Questions remain about handling cases of children born to American parents abroad, and naturalized citizens maintaining cultural ties to their birthplace. The potential for mass renunciations of U.S. citizenship could diminish America's global influence and soft power, affecting international business relations and cultural exchange programs. Experts suggest this could lead to a brain drain. This debate extends beyond paperwork and passports. It's about American identity, global engagement, and the future of our interconnected world. In a significant development sparking nationwide debate, critics are challenging the proposed elimination of dual citizenship, highlighting legal and ethical concerns. Legal experts argue that such a shift in citizenship policy could fundamentally alter America's character as a nation of immigrants. Opponents emphasize the substantial contributions dual citizens make to American society. From enriching cultural diversity to driving economic growth through international business and serving in the U.S. military, these individuals play vital roles across sectors. Political analysts warn this policy could alienate crucial voting demographics, particularly naturalized citizens who maintain connections to their ancestral homelands. The international implications are concerning. The United States maintains numerous agreements with allied nations regarding dual citizenship, facilitating trade and diplomatic relations. Key allies like Canada, the United Kingdom, and Germany, where dual citizenship is accepted, might need to reconsider their own policies in response. Experts suggest this could trigger retaliatory measures from other nations, affecting millions of American expatriates worldwide. The situation becomes complex when considering international partnerships that have historically benefited American interests abroad. Some political observers view this proposal as potentially designed to energize certain voter bases rather than represent serious policy. They point to similar patterns in previous campaigns where controversial proposals served as political tools rather than practical solutions. The timing has raised questions about its relationship to broader international developments, including tensions with Russia and regional conflicts. Critics argue that instead of strengthening national security, such a policy could weaken America's global influence. As this debate continues, scholars examine the legal framework surrounding citizenship rights, while international relations experts assess diplomatic repercussions. The proposal's fate depends on both domestic political dynamics and international considerations. In a bold move sparking nationwide debate, former President Trump's proposal to end dual citizenship in the United States continues generating discussion about American identity and national loyalty. Political analysts suggest this announcement appears more focused on energizing his base than presenting viable policy solutions. The proposal, which would reshape American citizenship laws, taps into concerns about globalization's impact on national identity. Trump's America First narrative resonates with voters worried about traditional American values being diluted in an interconnected world. Legal experts point to significant obstacles facing such a policy shift. Implementation would require either congressional approval or a constitutional amendment, both presenting major challenges in today's polarized political landscape. For millions of Americans holding dual citizenship, this creates practical concerns. Immigration attorneys recommend maintaining current documentation, staying informed about policy developments, and considering legal consultation if necessary. Many dual citizens face the prospect of choosing between nationalities, affecting family relationships, business interests, and personal identities. The debate extends beyond legal issues, touching on fundamental questions about American identity. Should the United States embrace its multicultural heritage and global connections, or require exclusive national loyalty? This mirrors similar debates in other countries, where questions of national identity have taken center stage. Critics argue that forcing Americans to choose a single citizenship could weaken U.S. global influence and economic ties. They note that many dual citizens contribute significantly to American society while maintaining valuable international connections. The proposal's timing, ahead of the election cycle, suggests it may be primarily designed to energize Trump's base. However, its impact on public discourse about American identity cannot be understated. As this debate unfolds, Americans are watching closely, recognizing that while the proposal faces significant hurdles, it reflects deeper questions about nationalism, globalization, and the future of American society. As we conclude our analysis of Trump's controversial proposal to end dual citizenship in America, the implications continue to reverberate through political circles and communities nationwide. This isn't just another campaign headline, it's a fundamental challenge to how we define American identity in the 21st century. Consider the parallels with other nations that have grappled with similar policies. Their experience shows us how complex these issues can become when geopolitics meets domestic policy. The proposal's impact would reach far beyond the estimated millions of Americans currently holding dual citizenship. It raises profound questions about loyalty, patriotism, and what it truly means to be American. Legal experts point out that implementing such a policy would require either congressional action or potentially a constitutional amendment, neither of which would be simple to achieve. Looking at historical precedents, similar attempts to redefine citizenship have often faced significant pushback. The Supreme Court has consistently protected citizenship rights, making any dramatic changes to these fundamentals a challenging undertaking. What's particularly interesting is the timing of this proposal. As we approach another election cycle, it's crucial to consider whether this is a genuine policy initiative or a strategic move to energize certain voter bases. Either way, it has certainly succeeded in sparking a national dialogue about identity and belonging. For those interested in staying informed about this developing story, we'll continue to bring you updates as they unfold. What do you think about this proposal? Could it reshape American identity, or is it simply campaign rhetoric? Don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth analysis of crucial political developments. We'll be closely monitoring this situation and bringing you the latest developments as they emerge. It's clear that whether or not this proposal gains traction, the conversation around citizenship, loyalty, and national identity is far from over. This is your trusted news source, signing off for now. Remember to join us next time for more critical analysis of the stories that matter most to you.